going on, guys? Another video today. We're working on the Mustang Foxbody. I can't say the Mustang because we got too many Mustangs here, but working on my Foxbody Mustang. Gonna be doing some more dyno prep for it. Got a few things we need to fix still. All right, so one thing I got to check on this thing is what's going on with the starter solenoid, why you have to push it so many times before the starter solenoid actually does anything. One thing I want to check is make sure that the signal wire that goes to the starter solenoid is applying the voltage, and it's just the solenoid not clicking on. So my solenoid's sitting right here, and I got to figure out why what's going on with that. So I'm using a power probe. It's going inside the car. I'm going to use that to double check and make sure that I'm getting power to the signal wire, which is on the top of the solenoid. So I got the test light hooked up to that, and then when I'm inside the car and push the button, I'll be able to see if there's power coming to this test light probe with the power probe. Okay, so the solenoid might not be the problem. Something to do with this. I pushed it and just held it and watched the voltage like fluctuate, and then eventually when it got enough voltage it turned the solenoid on. So there's something going on with this switch here. But for now, instead of messing with that, we are going to mess with the spark plugs. I'm gonna get new spark plugs for it, a new oil filter, some new oil, and this exhaust gasket is like pushed out and leaking slightly right here. So I'm gonna get new manifold gaskets there, the collector gaskets. All right, not sure if I can get this on video, but that is not a terrible looking spark plug. It's rich, but the timing looks good on here. Timing might be a little up on the strap, but it's not bad at all. Timing mark is like right there, right where the bend of the strap comes, so that's perfect. All right, so a little update. Got back from the parts store. The specific parts store I went to did not have any of these spark plugs in the state, so I might have to go to a different parts store for that, but not going to worry about that today. On kind of a time crunch for today, but I'm also on kind of a time crunch for this week. So tomorrow I'll go and check out another parts store, see if they have any. Their website says they do, but not really sure. But I was able to get the oil, and I was able to get the oil filter and the exhaust gasket that I was pointing out before. I'm just going to change the one because the other one is not leaking, and then I can have one as backup. I did go ahead and pull another spark plug out, but from the other side of the engine. And same thing, pretty rich looking, but rich is safe. And the timing on the strap looks fine. Now these spark plugs have been in there for a while, so this isn't a very accurate reading. That's why I want to get new spark plugs before we take this thing on the dyno. It's been a couple years since I changed the oil on this thing, and that's partially why I want to go ahead and just do it for this dyno sesh. A couple years isn't a big deal because I don't really drive this thing that much. It doesn't get that many miles, so. But it's time to change it. I should change it at least once a season. I think I'm going to start doing that now. All right, so new oil filter is on. The only thing, I did make a little bit of a mess there. Dropped the oil filter on accident. The oil was a little sparkly, which I didn't particularly care for. But not like any big stuff, just like minor sparkly, which could be anything really. so I'm not too concerned about that. But I haven't actually drained the oil out yet. That's just what was out of the filter. So I'm going to change the oil now. This is how much front travel I have. Which is pretty crazy. Two fists. Doesn't have that much travel on the street. Not enough traction. Alright, I got the oil drained out and it is not bad at all. The dark colored container makes the oil look like it's darker than it really is. It was still pretty golden. But there was slight sparkles, but nothing to be even close to worried about. So this is good, perfect. Just got to put the new oil in now. And while I'm under here, I can do a quick transmission fluid check. Make sure it's still full. Alright guys, so check the tranny fluid. It was just barely low, so I'm not too worried about it. Fluid looked alright. Stuck a bore scope in there. Gears, everything look alright inside, so now we're going to put oil in the engine before I forget, and then we still got to change that manifold collector gasket. That'll work for now. It's showing overfull, but that's because I haven't started it, which hasn't put any oil in the oil filter yet. So that's perfect for now. We need to check out the starter issue. So I've got the switch panel pulled out here, and it's honestly pretty simple. Really hard to mess up, and I know that the ignition switch is good. And this push button switch just gets power from that ignition switch. So my guess is that there's an issue with this switch. I'm gonna disconnect it, use our new meter here, and ohm test it. Okay, so after ohm testing it and pushing the button, it appears that this push button seems to be the problem. It's bad. So just got to get a new push button and that will fix that issue. Alright, so I didn't get a new push button, but this is a momentary switch which will work for now. I'm going to wire this into there for the start. I also found my boost T for the boost controller. But one thing I didn't think about with the boost controller, and I'm kind of dumb for that, but we all make mistakes. I changed that wastegate spring, and it's effectively like a 6-pound spring, and I'm seeing about 4 pounds of map in fourth gear. Depending on your wastegate spring, the way I have the boost controller set up, I can only effectively double whatever it makes. So, in theory, I can only make somewhere around 8 pounds with the boost controller maxed out. So what I might do is I might put the old spring back in and disconnect the bottom source and then plumb the boost controller. So if I want to make a little bit more, because in fourth gear I would make 12 to 14 pounds on the old setup with the bottom source disconnected, and I'm effectively thinking that if I connect the boost controller, which it was connected before, and I wonder if it was doing anything. I was trying to pull up the file because I did have a boost, a little bit of boost set up in there. All right, so I do kind of have this just piss poorly mounted for now, just to test it real quick. But in theory, this should work on the first try. Yep, fired right up. We got good oil pressure. So, it was a bad switch. Happy to see that. I need to take this back off and put a washer here. This hole's a little bit bigger than the switch. Well, that's what I like to see. Got it all working now. It's just a bad switch, which these are cheap switches anyway. So, all right. Got it all mounted up here. Put a washer on it so it's nice and solid now. And now I want to pull the tune from the ECU real quick. Okay, yeah. I do have the boost controller doing something, but I don't think that this is really doing something. Because as soon as it sees 0.5 dome pressure, it's trying to shut it down. And I think I have to rethink how that works. Well, no, I guess that would be adding a little bit. The dome pressure sensor is literally in the top of the dome. So the best thing to do would be, if I want to double what it makes now, I would turn this on to like 5. If it sees 5 pounds of dome and if it sees 4 pounds of dome and it's got 4 pounds on the bottom, it should be zeroed out. So effectively you would need 8 pounds of dome, but there's no way to have that, I guess. I'll have to think about this, and not sure how that's going to work on the dyno. Worst case scenario, I take my old spring, swap it in there, make this thing make 12 pounds, and we can see where it's at. But I was just going over the timing, and this thing's still got like no timing in it. I mean, 10 pounds of boost at, let's say 3,000 RPMs, that's 11 pounds of boost. So let's see, 3,000 RPM, 11 pounds of boost is 12.6 degrees. And where my boost cut is, around 12.5, it's got 10 degrees of timing, which is nothing. That's no timing at all. So I think this thing could make a lot more power. We mess with the timing up here. I'll wait till it gets on the dyno. That's why this thing's such a ripper at like 3 or 4 pounds, because at 3,000 RPM it's still around 20 degrees of timing. Most people don't show their graphs, but I don't care. I do have learn turned on, but I don't really like transfer this. But yeah, you can see it's been close to 14 pounds up here in the RPM. But you see it's kind of gradual. It never just comes up early. My turbo starts making boost around 3,000-ish, and then it just pretty much goes straight up. Looks like I've hit about 14 pounds at 3750 before. And I think my air fuel ratios are plenty safe too. £12 pounds of boost, 11.4 AFR. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this up just a little bit. I'm gonna set it to 1. And effectively, I'm gonna try and ramp this in a little bit too. At 3,200, dome should be around a 0.8, and then higher than that. And then I just got to test drive and see how it does, but we still need to fix that manifold gasket. I got it out, and look at that. That thing is all sorts of deformed. The holes are all egged out. Even the exhaust hole is all like egged out. Some heat will do that. I'm gonna get the new one put in. Should be good to go. Alright guys, we're gonna take this thing for a quick spin. I just want to see how much boost it's gonna make real quick and see how rich it is at whatever boost level. Probably too rich. I've got a super safe tune-up in this thing, so we're gonna have to get her up to temp here. I know the fuel's getting a little low, so we'll definitely take it and fill it up. what it says. Intake air temp is 80 degrees. It's 80 degrees outside, so that's not too bad. Coolant temp 190. We'll find out what she likes here soon. Stay tuned. I'm going to be having a dyno video coming out here real soon. If this boost controller is working, I'm gonna be happy. Did go ahead and command some more boost control because, like I said, I wasn't really sure if it was actually working. I need to do another log. Okie dokie. Log is active. Still rips so much. Well, I turned the dome control up even higher, and I still can't tell if it did anything. This thing just feels like it rips. Curious if it'll hit target boost step dome now. Yes, it will. Holy Jesus. Alright, so here's what you can see. Right here I go full throttle at like 2600 RPM. Boost begins to build. As we go up in RPM, boost goes up, and immediately it's commanding dome pressure. And it holds the dome pressure pretty well, fluctuating, a little bit up and down, but not terrible. But you see our boost pressure hits a spike of about 5 pounds. And it holds around 5 pounds for most of whatever gear that is. And the AFR, the AFR does dip down to 10, and then it ramps back up to 12.5, and then it dips back down to 11.2. You know what? I'm gonna edit this fuel tuning view or Maybe I'll choose a different view here. And I'm going to want AFR, duty cycle, ignition timing, TPS, battery, dome pressure, fuel pressure, and I also want boost pressure. Now we're gonna move this fuel pressure down, move boost pressure up. Okay, hit OK, hit save. Now I want to switch to that view, which is customize view 6. Okay, let's go ahead and activate all of these. Okay, we can see right about here, I go full throttle. Boost pressure starts building. I don't know why the AFR is so fluctuating like that. Still 37% duty cycle. Yeah, right here it made 5 pounds, but we're 100% throttle here. AFR is 12.4, 35%. Duty cycle, 22 degrees of timing, 62 pounds of fuel pressure. So that's perfect. So the dome control is working, it's adding boost. So if I want more boost, I just gotta add more dome pressure. I'm gonna go ahead and say from here up, should make 4. And then you just kind of taper it in there. I'm not really commanding it to come on lower than that, because that's 2600 RPM. It thinks it's putting a pound of pressure. Well, effectively it might be. I might want to like ramp it in so it's kind of, because I wonder if it's stealing pressure from the, I don't know. I'll leave it just like that. Send that to the ECU and just have to keep playing with it. I think up top, since the boost seems to fall off, this thing's losing control and we need more pressure up top. But for right now, this will work. This thing's an absolute ripper. I love this car. I think if I wanted to make more power at higher boost levels, it needs more timing. We're just gonna have to be cautious because I'm still on 91 pump gas. And I need to make something that gets cold air to the turbo. Because right now it's just sucking all the heat up here. The intercooler does a good job. It keeps it mainly at ambient temp for intake temps, but all right, I'm gonna send this to the ECU. That's gonna be it for the video today, guys. I appreciate you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we're about to see how much power this baby puts down. See you in the next one.